So this whole story is about a prison. Not a regular jail, but a place where people literally come to punish themselves for their sins. But the real question is, can they handle what's waiting for them? Anyway, as soon as the movie kicks off, we see a bunch of people giving interviews. They talk about who they are, what they did, and why they chose to come here. Among them, we meet Perempuan, the main character of the movie. She came here by choice, just like everyone else, because she believes she's responsible for a child's death. Before ending up in this nightmare, she was a sculpture artist. She once held an art show filled with bloody, brutal animal sculptures. They were sharp, graphic, and honestly, kinda dangerous. She even invited her boyfriend to that exhibition. But while his son was playing around, he bumped into one of the sculptures really hard, and the sharp point stabbed straight into the kid's eye, killing him on the spot. Perempuan blamed herself. She had refused to put a safety barrier around those sharp pieces, and now she carried that guilt everywhere. So she came to this prison to punish herself, completely unaware of how terrifying this place actually is. Inside, her roommate is Zamyatin, a mathematician. His obsession with math wrecked his whole life, his job, his family, everything. He'd become fixated on a new equation that popped into his mind years ago. He spent all that time trying to solve it and still failed. He even asked Perempuan to answer it. What's the square root of -1? Obviously, she can't solve it. Nobody really can. But Zamyatin is desperate. He wants to quiet the chaos in his mind. That's why he came here too. Now let's talk about the master, the person who runs this entire setup. Although the movie never tells us who actually built the prison. The master is also a prisoner, and he runs a whole squad called the Loyalists. This prison is basically a huge tower with over 362 floors. Every single day, the food starts coming down from the top floor, platform 1. The Loyalists try to make sure food reaches every single floor. But obviously, not everyone cares. There's another group called the Barbarians, and these guys do not care about anyone else. By the time the food reaches around floor 100, it's usually wiped out. People on the lower levels literally starve. The Barbarians are brutal. They'll kill for food. Meanwhile, the people stuck on the lowest floors literally die of hunger. The master tries his best. He even starves himself for an entire month and then offers his own flesh to the people on the bottom floors so they don't die. It's messed up, but that's the system here. Breaking loyalist rules is deadly. If someone breaks a rule, their hand gets chopped off, or they just get killed.
If someone dies, their food doesn't go to anyone. It's wasted. That's the rule. When Perempuan arrives, she lands on platform 24, so she gets plenty of food at first. But this prison resets every month. People at the top go down, people at the bottom go up. Everyone gets a new platform. On her next reset, she ends up on floor 174, and now she barely gets anything. Still, the Loyalists force them to leave leftovers for the people below. They warn them, one day you'll end up down there too, and if no one thinks about you, you'll die like the rest. The Loyalists get it, the Barbarians don't. Now, shift time comes again. This time, Perempuan and Zamyatin land on platform 180, a nightmare floor. If they even get a single plate to lick, that's considered lucky. They starve for 20 days. 10 more days left, and they have no idea whether the next shift will take them up or even lower. Zamyatin breaks. His body gives up. He can't take it anymore. So he kills himself by setting himself on fire. His burnt body falls to the floors below, and the starving prisoners eat him without hesitation. The body is already cooked, and that's the only way they can survive. After Zamyatin's death, Perempuan gets a new roommate, a woman whose hand had already been chopped off for breaking a loyalist rule, even though she wasn't actually guilty. Dead bodies are tossed around casually here. At one point, the woman uses a corpse to feed a starving man. The man who ate the flesh was then tortured. His eyes gouged out, and then he was killed. Then suddenly, the food platform arrives, and this time it's loaded with food. They got lucky. The floors above them were all loyalists who always save food for the floors below. But who knows how long the food will last as the lift goes down? The lower floors could easily wipe it out. So Berenbuan and her roommate make a bold decision. They will ride the platform downward and protect the food, making sure everyone gets something. The new master isn't happy at all, but they convince him that it's necessary for food security. If a barbarian jumps them, countless people below will starve. The master reluctantly agrees, and they go down with a few more people. Their mission? Fight the barbarians. The fight is wild, full-on savage mode. People are biting, slicing, tearing each other apart. But for once, the loyalists win. There were more than this time, and many came from lower floors, so they understood starvation firsthand. But in this whole crazy fight, Berenbuan and her partner lose their floor. They were supposed to be on floor 51, but they're too far down now. Now they're stuck on a floor with zero food. Her companion tells her, "Don't worry, there's a way out." When the shift happens, they release a gas that puts everyone asleep. If someone can stay awake through that gas, they can escape. They only need to survive one more month. But before the shift, the loyalists punished them. They broke the rules by leaving their assigned floor. Berenbuan's companion had broken rules twice, so she's executed. Berenbuan's hand is chopped off, and her companion's body is tied to a table and sent down to the starving floors, where people rip her apart and eat her. The body is already cooked, and that's the only way they can survive. After Zamyatin's death, Berenbuan gets a new roommate, an old man with a knife. She takes the knife because now she has a new plan. She wants revenge. Not on the barbarians, but on the loyalists. They took her hand. They killed her partner. And even though they claim to be the good guys, their rules killed more people than the barbarians ever did. She feels more like a barbarian now. She gathers a couple of people from various floors and rides the platform again, this time to start a rebellion. She rallies the barbarians to join her, building a small army. Once the food runs out, they reach the loyalist floors. Berenbuan announces war. Everyone thinks it's about food, but she's fighting for freedom. Chaos erupts. People stab, beat, torture, and kill each other with anything they can grab. Many barbarians die. Many loyalists die. The whole tower becomes a battlefield. Eventually, Berenbuan gets caught by the loyalists, but she won't go down quietly. She screams for help, but no barbarian comes. So she helps herself. She grabs a massive knife and stabs the master in the stomach, killing him. Dead bodies fall with the lift, giving food to the starving people below. Berenbuan keeps descending until she reaches platform 331, a floor where breathing feels impossible and survival is near zero. There's a mountain of corpses here, but among them, she finds a child with a bleeding head. She saves the kid. She'd heard that children are treated differently here. They're fed, they move to upper floors, and they survive longer until they grow up and fall into the same horrible cycle. Berenbuan wants to take the child upward, but the platform must go down 2 floors first before ascending again. When the lift reaches the very last floor, the people there smell something they haven't smelled in years: fresh human scent. To them, humans are food. They come rushing like animals. In seconds, they're about to tear Berenbuan and the child apart. She tries to escape. She fails. And she realizes the truth. Nobody leaves this place ever. We see her trapped, and the movie ends right there.